The Sciforror Film Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Sciforror Film Podcast. I'm Andy Walker and I'm joined again by my co-host Badger. Hello Badger, how you doing?
How's it going, guys? Welcome. All right, Andy?
I'm all right. Yeah, not doing too bad.
Good stuff.
All things considered and all that kind of stuff. Yes. Anybody will have noticed that we had a couple of extra episodes of the show with interviews with Danny Thompson and Graham Humphreys. I asked Graham Humphreys about the cost of getting a custom poster done. He said, if you're asking in a professional basis, then he would ask somebody to send him. I can give them his email to contact him about getting one prepared. If we're asking about just getting one for our own use, it would depend a lot on what you actually wanted and the size and all that kind of thing. So I'm not sure what costs would be, to be honest. I feel it may well be out of my price range, but I don't.
Yes, me too. Well, we can dream, because that would be the ideal thing, if you think for like Ballamoran and stuff, that would be the most epic thing to have.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, his work is very good, and as I said, we said in the interview, there are a couple of books out there of his stuff that you can buy. They're on Amazon and other places, so have a look for those if you're interested.
Yeah, I think that'd be on the bucket list,
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
One day, one film that you get a proper poster done for.
That's it. Yeah. I think it might happen. You never know. But yeah, honestly, those interviews were fantastic, guys. So if you haven't seen them yet, please do watch them. They're very interesting. And if you're into science fiction or horror, it really does tug at the nostalgia sort of like idea behind what horror and how it makes you feel is actually about.
I've got some more coming up with both actors and filmmakers, and there will be one with a guy who is a filmmaker, but he also does effects stuff, makeup and all that kind of stuff, and he makes his own kind of dummies and things like that in horror films. So that would be quite interesting.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for practical effects, so that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, this week we are looking at horror, and it's quite good actually. We've got two that I've kind of been asked to review, and one which has kind of come to us from a guy who's seen stuff posted online. So the first of our short films is from 2024, and it's a film called The Midnight Showing. It's from Wrong Neighborhood Productions. The writer and director is Juan Morales. The co-director is Joe Bezzonetti. The cast is Juan Morales, Christopher Miller, Adam Butter, and David Geprindashvili. I knew I was going to have trouble saying that one. The synopsis for this says, a journalist with a knack for acquiring confidential information for personal gain meets his own downfall when a colleague uncovers his deceit. After discovering a mysterious USB drive containing a bizarre game show, he must face the consequences of his curiosity. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I thought it definitely reeked of nostalgia. I mean,
Oh,
like we were saying in private message, it definitely reminds me of Max Headroom
yeah,
and that sort of stuff that you would have on, when you fell asleep in the 90s and you woke up and you think, what the hell's this on the channel? As some
absolutely.
sort of random, like, hacker has invaded Channel 6, It's like,
Yeah, no, no, I agree. I agree. It does. It definitely comes across as that sort of thing, and and it does. As you say, it's that kind of nostalgia thing of like harking back to the sort of 80s and
I'd
90s.
be very interested to see if the actual director and the people involved with the film had actually taken that from reference. Because if not, that's very interesting. Because
Yeah,
the whole Max Headroom thing, if you look into it more and more and more, that was all to do with like hackers and stuff like that. A lot of it was all quite mysterious.
yeah,
Some of
yeah,
it was real, like by an actor and stuff, and then some of it was completely made up and things. There's a lot of like sort of fan fiction and urban legends all around just that fact,
yeah, absolutely.
And I do like that whole idea of something coming in, controlling the TV, and it being quite mysterious. It was a very interesting idea.
It was. I thought the idea was really good, and it was done really well. I mean, especially it's a low budget film, but it works really well. I liked the start of it. I thought the start of it was good. It sets up who he is and what he does really well. I think that
Yeah,
was good. Um,
and with some of the short films we've seen, they don't really set enough up, do
no,
they, for it to be a full fleshed out thing? And I was
absolutely.
quite happy because I didn't go away with thinking, "Oh, I want more." It was actually quite complete for me, and it did its job.
Yeah, kind of. No, I get what you mean. I was left because of the ending. I was left with a few more questions than answers, to be
Yeah,
honest. But
but I
yeah,
love it. Yeah.
yeah, no,
You're thinking, what's going on? Why has this happened?
yeah.
And how is he being able to do all this? I like it.
Absolutely. The only thing I found with this is the fact that the when he gets the phone call at the beginning of it, the voice on the phone is really quiet and it's really difficult to hear. You have to be wearing headphones or turn it right up to hear what they're actually saying properly. Um, so that's the only kind of downside to it for me
Mm,
is that they should have done something about that. But I thought it was really well done, and and it's a it's a fairly simple film in a lot of ways, but the idea is quite complex and it works really well.
mm. I do find that's probably my one bugbear, like you say, is with a lot of these low budget films. I mean, myself included, and you know how hard it is to juggle sound and
Yeah,
things like that. You could be listening to it for hours and it will sound perfect your end. You upload it and then it's completely skew with and nothing like how
absolutely.
you want. So
Yeah, no, I
we've all
agree.
been there.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it stands up really well as a short film. It works really well, and as you say, I think although I have more questions than answers at the end of it, it
Yeah.
does kind of like round things up quite well, and it's quite good.
And it's quite rare for me to say that. Usually I'm like, come on now, where's the rest?
Yeah,
And
yeah, no, I know what
I
you
do
mean.
feel that it had like a nice ending to it. But like you say, it has room for sequels and things like that.
Definitely. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Right. The second short film is called The Treatment and the Cure.
Mm,
This is from this year, from 2026. Misty Grind Studios. The writers are Corey Andrews, Robert DeCosta, and Kyle Fahey.
mm,
The director is Corey Andrews. The cast is Marla Cockrell, John Clark, Matt Porter, Holly, and Ray Hill.
mm.
The synopsis for this says two rogue scientists strive to create the cure to save humanity from a deadly plague that could wipe out all of humanity. Yeah, I liked the way this is edited.
Mm.
It's done really well, and I think it kind of draws you into the film.
Yes, very visceral, very quick,
Absolutely.
very cool. I had Evil Dead vibes from the get go. Very much so.
Yeah, no, I think the effects are done really well, and I think the
Oh,
sets are pretty
fantastic!
good as well, But it is super gory, but very well done.
Yeah, I was like, blooming heck, I've not seen anything this gory for a while.
Yeah,
It
I mean,
took me aback a bit.
it starts off, and I thought, oh, okay, this is obviously about disease, and it's kind of they're working, and then it just got completely like blood.
Everywhere.
What the
I
hell?
thought it was going to be very similar to the one that we saw the other week, with the weird rabbits, and they were going to be doing experiments and stuff. But no, there was chainsaws and bits of body everywhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I really liked it. I thought it was great. I thought the acting was really good,
Yes,
and it's a really
definitely
good
from the,
film.
the female doctor. She was a very good actress.
Absolutely. Absolutely, it works really well. It's a great little film, and it's kind of again this is another one I think that just kind of like it's kind of like when I got to the end of it, I thought, oh, I like that. That was good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
that
that.
was good. Yeah,
I didn't think sort of like I want to know what's going on. I just thought, oh,
yeah,
that was good. I like that.
yeah. I mean, obviously, there is room for more,
Oh yeah,
but yeah,
absolutely.
most definitely. So for me, I felt the opposite on this one. I felt that I wanted more
Oh
to
right,
find out, sort of thing. What was going on. You know
yeah,
what?
yeah,
Is there loads of nasty zombies outside? Is there weird sort of like
yeah.
deadites and that roaming the earth and stuff?
What
What's
does
all this all about?
this disease do to people that they're looking for a cure from?
Yeah.
For it's just yeah, it does. You do wonder. I don't know. There you go.
Mm.
Okay. Our feature film this week, which we've been asked to review,
Mm.
is also from this year, and it is going to be one that is going to be on at the Romford Horror Film Festival.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there. The director for this is Martin Daniels, although I think he prefers to be M.W. Daniels and things. The cast is Karina Jane, Gemma Thompson, Gary Cross,
Mm.
Stephen Atkins, Kathy Griffiths. And the synopsis says, "Oh, did I tell you what it was called?"
No, not yet.
No. Okay. So it's called Beyond Mamushi. Right. Uh, the synopsis is Kate Andrews' perfect life in her dream home implodes under her partner's sadistic psychological brutality and her medication-fueled hallucinations. Yeah,
This was a tough one. This one,
it was.
I was
It's not in a lot of places. It's not an easy watch.
no, no, not at all. And I found it quite hard to watch. I had to pause it and come away a few times because I've not seen anything that heavy for a long time. And I think the fact that we didn't know anything about it doubled down on that because you're
Yeah,
like, if you knew what you to expect, then you prepare yourself, don't you?
yeah.
And
I mean, it,
I was like, wow.
what I like about this, and it's kind of odd to get it mixed together. It's a psychological horror, but it's got some really good jump scares
Mm.
and some incredibly believable, quite visceral violence.
That's right. And I think because, like you were saying, the violence in it, because it felt real, it wasn't like what we saw with Treatment and Cure, where it's just over the top gore. It felt like two people arguing or rowing or having a fight, and her sort of acting in quite a visceral way. But yes, I think that was part of it. It felt very real and very grounded.
Absolutely. The whole thing was so believable. It just worked so
Mhm.
well.
Yeah,
It and the effects, the makeup and all that kind of thing, effects, I thought were brilliant. They work so well. Uh, it is hard hitting in a lot of places and a lot
very much
of
so.
ways.
Yeah, very much so. I
But
would say that definitely needs, if it goes out on DVD or anything, that definitely needs a trigger warning. You know,
yeah,
because I was like, oh cripes, you know,
yeah,
yeah, it's very hard hitting in certain ways, and a lot of people have been through similar situations, so
absolutely, yeah. It,
whew,
it,
yeah, it was
but
hard going.
I think it's brilliantly made and
Oh,
really well acted.
definitely, definitely. The only thing, obviously, I like the thing, and like we're not really told what the tablets are,
Mm,
so I like some of that because that adds to the mystery for me. A part of me was thinking, is some of this not real? Is it in her head because of the tablets?
yeah,
Because there was that one scene where the husband or partner, he like looks at her and he's got like white eyes and all that sort of stuff, and I wanted a bit more of that because I was like, I want to be led down a rabbit hole of, is it the tablets? Is this real? Isn't this real? They had something there that they didn't quite take hold of for me. I love the film, don't get me wrong, but I think that was one missed opportunity there. They didn't tell us the name of the tablets on purpose. They should have sort of leaned into a bit more of what these mysterious tablets do.
yeah. No, yeah, I get that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I agree. But I mean, the story, the basic story, I think is really good and it works really well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the thing about it is it's under an hour long, and at that length, it never feels like it's dragging, and it never
No,
feels like, and to me, it didn't feel like it was a short film.
no, it felt like it was very much fully fleshed out. The soundtrack was great. Like I said, the acting was great. It was very grounded. It felt real. It felt
Absolutely.
like you were watching like a BBC documentary or something on violence.
Yeah. No,
It,
I
you know,
agree.
and and it felt to me like what I liked about it was that the word it didn't really. It's hard to explain, but the scripting felt like it was a couple talking and arguing.
Yeah.
Whoever did the script writing for that, it was a very good script because it felt like it was a traditional British person and somebody else talking. It didn't feel like, oh, these are lines on the page.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
felt like that's what helped make it real, I think,
I think
because
that's it. Yeah.
they sort of got the whole generation all sort of way of talking down to a T.
That's what got me is that the whole thing seemed very kind of real and believable.
Yeah,
All the people in it, all of their relationships, everything just kind of like, yeah, yeah, I did find it hard in a couple of places, but at the end of it, I thought that I'd seen a really good film.
yes.
So yeah,
Um, some of the key scenes where you had definite light and dark, and for me, it was painful because you're almost shouting at the at the screen in the end because whatever he does to her, she always goes back, and
yeah,
and that's part of abuse. Is that they yeah, and that's what made it feel real, really real, and
absolutely.
and the light and the dark contrast with the what's the kite and stuff like that. That made it all very much. Oh, yeah.
And I like the way um, it kind of built up to it. And at the end part of it, there was a lot more kind of like there was her hallucinating and dreaming and that kind of thing, and it all kind of like was very. There was a lot quicker cuts
Yes,
up to the point where it kind of like reaches almost like a climax
yes.
at the end of it all.
Obviously, we can't reveal any twists yet because it's not
No,
out yet. But I would say that's another thing that adds to me is like the very end. Was that to do with the tablets and to do,
yeah,
or was that to do with something else. And I'd be very much. This is a film you could spend about an hour talking about, picking apart the different clues.
Absolutely.
And I love all that sort of stuff where there's a few different meanings to things, and it can add. You can make your own mind up.
And as I say, I do like it's not something I don't think that is seen or done enough. That idea of the mixing of horror styles, the psychological horror, jump scares, the violence, all of that sort of together. You don't see that sort of thing enough, and for me, that I think they work really well when you put them together like that.
Yeah, and especially in a grounded British sort of like scene and things like that, where they were going off, and it was all very rural, and that's what helped made it feel real. They didn't try and be in America or anything like that. They stuck to a very grounded location. Tower box and things like that. And that's what helped make it feel believable.
Definitely. I would say to anybody going to the Romford Horror Film Festival, it's definitely worth checking out Beyond Mamushi. It's a really good film. Don't think you'll be upset if you go and watch it. I think you'll enjoy it very much.
Like you said, definitely the end. And all that sort of stuff, and the way it all drags and brings itself all together is fantastic. So yeah, if you're going to the festival, definitely check it out. But please be aware there are sensitive scenes.
Yes, be aware that it could be triggering for some people. Okay, so there we are. We've got the midnight showing, which we liked, and we gave us remembrance of things like Max Headroom and things like that. Treatment and the Cure, which again was a very good film, really good sort of short film with a bit of gore and hacking and things like that, which is always worth a watch. And Beyond Mamushi, which is, I just think it's a brilliant psychological horror that sort of it delivers on every front, to be honest. Okay, I will also be doing an interview with the director of Beyond Mamushi at some point, so watch out for that. That will be coming up possibly just before the Horror Film Festival or around the same time as it. So have a look out for that. Okay, thank you, Badger.
No worries.
Really good to have you again. Thank you to everybody out there for watching. I have had a look. At the moment, we do not have hype on our videos because I was looking. You have to have above a certain amount of subscribers, and be part of their. I don't know what it is. They're one of their schemes on YouTube in order to get your hype button up.
Well, please everyone subscribe so we can get access to the hype.
Yes, I mean, well, watch, like, subscribe. If you can't hype it, then at least please, if you see the adverts and that for it on social media, share them far and wide, and we will love you forever.
Definitely. Please do subscribe and share and tell people about it. Definitely.
Right. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.
The Sciforror Film Podcast.